going on, guys? Bob Mentality here. I just want to give my thoughts on where we're sitting here in the current futures session and what I'm looking for as the ideal scenario this week for a trade opportunity. As far as the ES is concerned, you'll see here on the 15-minute, we hit an immediate low at the open of the Sunday night futures session here at 4,116. And we're holding that low so far, right? But we're seeing some lower highs and kind of channeling sideways here. Who knows? We could wake up at 4,180, 4,200, or we could wake up lower. Here's would be the ideal scenario for me. We're sitting just above this massive weekly demand. On the last video I talked about, that's kind of the line in the sand before we see this next leg move. Ideally, we see that break. We see some 3,900-ish prints, 4,000 prints, because that would be the most logical leg down on extension, right? Let me zoom out on the weekly. If we break this prior weekly support, the next level, macro level to watch for demand is going to be that $4,000 level, okay? Below that is where all the stops are set at, like, 3,999.99, right, on the ES. So I expect when we snap that 4,000, we could see some liquidation, see some longs flushed out, and that is when the opportunity for the long can come in for that bounce play, maybe back to 4,150, 4,200 area, right? On the weekly, we've seen 4 red weeks in a row, okay? This starting the 5th, right? So a red week, early in the week this week, looking for that washout long idea is kind of the optimal play. Besides that, we're sitting on demand. So if we're going to bounce, we need to do it here, right? So if we do go ahead and go for the bounce, zoom in on the hourly, I would be looking for the first area of supply being 4,200 and then 4,300, right? Those are the two main levels we need to watch. 4,280, of course, is a reference. 4,180, of course, is a reference. But for the main part, look at 4,200, 4,300 for the bounce idea. Worst case scenario for the bulls is we snap that 4,000, get a daily close below it, and then at that point, we can start heading back closer to those 2020, these 2020 area highs, right? So right around that 3750. Very possible that we could see that. But who knows? From the VIX perspective, the best scenario here, let me zoom out here on the weekly again. If we can see the VIX move up towards 36, 37, I'm going to start selling the 40 strike plus call side verticals with at least 2-3 weeks till expiration. Looking for this thing to get that bounce I was discussing, seeing VIX get killed back below 30, and then you're going to be able to capture 50, 60, 75% of that premium pretty quick on that on a 10-point drop in the VIX, right? So that's what I'm looking for as far as my washout long play. If we gap up, you're going to be looking for a lot of beta names to get stuffed into overhead supply, since essentially everything is there. The market's just really heavy right now, and with VIX elevating, I think the true panic point in the long side opportunity isn't going to be here at 4120 ES. It's going to be closer to that 4,000, that 3,900 handles. That's kind of what I'm looking for heading into this next week. I'm not going to jump into beta or anything like that. We'll see where they open up on the gap. I talked a little bit about beta names in my last video, so if you want to see that, just jump back to that video. I just want to go over the current futures prints and give an updated thought after the weekend on what I'm looking for in the upcoming future. The ideal short was to already be short, right? You can short the the 4116 breakdown, but that's pretty low on the weekly. The ideal short was up into that 4,300 or the 4,200 fail. And now you're sitting in a good place. Right now we're sitting on demand, so it's not a good short entry. That's all I got here for you today. Remember to stay focused about that bot mentality, which is that trading mentality, where you learn to eliminate your emotions so you can trade like a machine, guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.